Okay, I'm gonna go over a couple of stretches before, just a little bit of tips to ensure your own well-being before you start stretching someone else. So what you wanna do is you wanna warm up first, make sure you're stretched before you stretch somebody else. If it's already your third stretch of the day, you should be pretty warmed up. But if it's your first stretch, you wanna just do maybe a little bit of trap stretch, some shoulder rolls, just different exercises wherever you feel tightness, so that you can warm up before stretching. The other thing you want to do is when you're stretching is you always want to try to stay as close as possible, and we'll go over that while we're stretching. You don't want to be too far out. That increases the lever and that can actually injure you, and we don't want any overuse, over injuries, so always try to maintain closeness. The other thing is you want to stabilize yourself when you're stretching, so always either, stagger your feet, shoulder width apart. You want to have your base of support gravity over your hips and leaning into stretches. So you don't want to use your arms when stretching. You want to try to use your body as much as you can. Like I said, we'll go over that when we're stretching also. And then don't forget to breathe yourself. So just like you're telling the patient to breathe, you also want to breathe yourself. So make sure you're breathing, even when they're contracting, you're not holding your breath, so breathe with them. And in order to ensure their safety, and now we'll go over some tips on what you can do with them. So before you start stretching, you always want to check in, especially if it's their first time, even if it's, you've done a couple stretches, you always want to check in. So do you have any accidents, Maria, do you have any accidents, injuries, or any ailments, surgeries that we need to be aware of before we start stretching? No. Okay, if there are, you want to just check in, make sure that the doctor has cleared them and they're okay to begin a stretching program. And always remind them about the tension scale again, just to let them know we don't want to have any pain with any of the stretches. We want to maintain around a 7. If there's any pain, you're just going to go ahead and go on to the next stretch. And then also you can ask them an emphasis. Do you have an emphasis for today? Is there something that they're training for? Do they have a desk job where you want to stretch more hip flexors? Just ask them if there's an emphasis or somewhere they feel tightness before you go and assess and before you go and stretch them, if there's something that they want to focus on.